What's up guys, my name is Devin, also known as FBE, and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 skill cleats for the 2021 season. So these are the best skill cleats for QBs, running backs, wide receivers, and DBs. Some of you tight ends, linebackers might also benefit from this video. As you guys watch this video, please keep in mind that this list is completely based off of my personal experience and just kind of what I like in a cleat. Some of the things that I do take into account are the comfort, the fit, the traction, the colors, the styles, and then of course the price. Before we get into the video, do me a favor and drop what cleats you are wearing this season in the comments below. I'm really kind of curious to see what you guys have actually picked up and how it's going to compare to the top 5 cleats that I've chosen for this video. All right, so now let's actually get into the video. Coming in at number 5, we have the Adidas Adizero 11.0. This is the latest speed cleat from Adidas. These dropped earlier this year. The Adidas Adizero line is typically known for being the lightest cleat in football. For the Adizero 11.0, Adidas bulked up the cleat. The upper is a lot thicker, as you guys can probably tell, and there's a lot more support in this football cleat. Last year's model, which was in our top 5 from last year, was a lot thinner and a lot lighter as well. This cleat weighs in at 10.2 ounces, which is still light for a football cleat, but definitely heavier than the past model. So one of my favorite things about these cleats is the comfort. They have a really soft, kind of mesh-like tongue. They lace up really tight, and they have plenty of heel padding. For this season, they actually had the heel cup go a little bit higher than last year, which kind of gives you a little bit more support and more padding on your heel. And overall, I thought that felt, really, really good. For this cleat, Adidas finally listened to us and updated their traction plate. They went away with the circle studs that they've had on all previous Adizero models and finally shifted towards these longer triangle studs that grip to the ground so much better. These triangle studs give you so much grip, they allow you to cut super quickly, and you get really good traction on both grass and turf. Another thing I love is how many different colors and designs these cleats come in. As you guys can see in my hands, I have this super cool Monsters Inc. pair, and then I have a bunch of other colors as well. I'm going to show you guys the footage from the Turbo Fuel Pack, which is an Eastbay exclusive. Go check it out, it'll be linked below. Those colors were super vibrant, and then I also have, here they are, I also have a comic book pair, which is really cool as well. These things come in so many different colors and designs. There's some on Eastbay's website, like I mentioned, the Turbo Fuel Pack, and then Adidas also has some special ones as well. So if you guys are interested in purchasing the Adidas Adizero 11.0, they are available at Eastbay for $120. You're not going to be able to get this pair right here because these were a limited edition quick run, but they do have, like I mentioned, the whole Turbo Fuel Pack and then some of the regular colorways as well. So go check them out. We'll have a link below for you guys. Overall, these are amazing skill cleats. If you guys have them and you're like, oh, why is it only number 5? The only reason they're number 5 is because, well, first of all, I think there's 4 cleats better. And second of all, they're just a little bit heavier. If these were a little bit lighter, they could easily be in the top 3. Overall, a really good pair of football cleats. So if you guys have these, good for you, man. They're dope. Coming in at number 4 on this list, we have the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Speed, the best budget cleat in the game. These did technically release in 2020, but they are in a 2-year cycle from Nike, so they are still the latest cleat out from them. These are the lowest tier speed option from Nike, but they are still some of the best cleats in the game, which is why they're number 4 on this list. Let me give you guys a couple other reasons why I've ranked them so high. First things first, I absolutely love wearing these cleats. They feel great, and one of my favorite things is that they really remind me of kind of old school, simple, easy Nike football cleats. The silhouette, super clean, low cut, nothing too fancy going on. Yeah, this pair is the Combine pair, so it's a little bit loud. But traditional laces, thin tongue, low cut cleat, they look really, really good. I love how they look, and they feel really good as well. I don't know about you guys, but for me, sometimes simplicity is like the best. I love a simple football cleat. Of course, I also love some of the crazier ones out there, like the last pair I just showed you, the Monsters Inc. pair, but these, the simplicity is beautiful to me. Also, another plus to these is they only weigh 9.9 ounces, which is lighter than the Adizeros we just talked about. And they feel like a light football cleat. It's probably because they're so low cut, and the upper is actually pretty thin. But don't get me wrong, there's still padding around the heel. Tongue is super thin, but overall they're a really comfortable pair of cleats, but they're also really minimalist. So there's not a ton of padding, but there's enough to get you by. Now, as far as traction goes, these have arguably the best traction plate in the game. This is Nike's new Edge plate. It's a 2-piece construction with these amazing edge studs on the outermost parts of your foot. So what the Nike designers did is they took these studs and they imagined like where a player's foot is when they're cutting, and they put those studs there. So when you go to cut, this is the first thing that hits the turf, and you're up and out of there like that. These things are great. And then on the inside, I'll try and show you guys. They have kind of this plastic grid. I don't think you guys will be able to see, but it's super springy. It kind of reacts like the carbon fiber that they use in older models, but it gives you guys that little bit of spring. It is kind of stiff at first, but it works. All right, this is an amazing traction plate. Definitely my favorite on the market personally. As far as style and colorways, like I said, super simple silhouette. Looks really good, and they don't come in as many amazing crazy colorways like the Adizero, but they do come in some of your basic ones, you know, black, white. There's a couple weird designs, like this combine pair, and then there's this really cool like black and white pair. It's really cool, but not super flashy, but it gets the job done and they look clean. But like I mentioned earlier, the reason these are so high is because they are the best budget cleats. So all you guys balling on a budget, well, a fairly reasonable budget, these cost $95, and for $95 you get a really simple, really high performing cleat that a lot of the pros wear. Mike Evans is in these, a bunch of other guys as well. Really good football cleats. So overall, I love these cleats. I definitely could not leave them off the list like I did last year. They're too good of a football cleat to be ignored. They're just so simple and clean, and I think they're going to be around for a long time, and they are already turning into a player favorite. Coming in at number 3, we have the biggest surprise of 2021 for me, and that is going to be the Under Armour Clone Blur. If you guys watched the full review on these a couple months ago, you guys know these cleats surprised the crap out of me. I did not expect them to be as good as they are. I didn't know Under Armour was still capable of producing super high quality football cleats like these. When talking about these cleats, the word that constantly comes to mind for me is premium. It has this super just high quality feeling quilted upper that feels so good on top of your foot, and it looks amazing as well. Just a really, really good looking pair of cleats. I was also blown away by how well they fit and just how comfortable they are overall. They have a lot of padding here in the heel, and then this quilted upper kind of acts like a small, like little tiny mini pillows on the top of your foot. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you slip them on, it's a tight, it's a comfortable fit, and they don't really move around too much as you play. Another thing they have in typical Under Armour fashion is this beautiful Under Armour 4D high rebound super foam. I think that's what they call it. Super thick. This green foam is just, it feels really good under your foot, and it kind of absorbs some of that contact as you run. But yeah, like I said, this quilted upper feels amazing, and then this kind of like knit material collar fits pretty secure around your foot as well. As far as weight goes, these are, I think, the heaviest cleat on this list. They weigh in at 11.5 ounces, but they feel so much lighter on your foot. It's kind of hard to explain the feeling, but when you're wearing these cleats, they feel like they're a part of you because they fit so well, and that kind of makes the weight almost go away. They feel a lot lighter than the scale says. This cleat is great and all, but I do have some downsides for you. One of them is the price tag. These things retail for $200. $200 is a lot for a football cleat. Yes, this is a premium football cleat, but that's a lot of money. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of, as you guys might know if you watch the full review, is the traction plate. It performs good, it's not bad, but I think it could be better. I think if they use triangle studs, kind of give you guys a little bit more of a bite into the turf. All they really have for like cutting and stuff, besides the circle studs, are these blade studs. So there's 2 up here in the front and then 2 in the rear, and those are kind of what you have to depend on for cutting. It works good. Like I said, it's a better traction plate, but I think it could be greater. I think they could do a better job if they just tweaked it a little, upgraded it, maybe made the circles, triangles, diamonds, something a little bit sharper. So another downside is the colors. So these things come in like no colors. They come in this white, they come in a black, and they come in kind of this pinkish, orangey, reddish. I don't know what color you guys would call it. But only 3 colors. So if you guys are, you play for like a blue and orange team, there's not much you can really do about that. There's no, I guess you get it customized, but like as far as stock colors go, they don't have a lot. If these cleats were a little bit cheaper and came in more colors, they could easily be number 1 or number 2 on this list. All right, so coming in at number 2, we have the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Pro. Again, just like the Speeds, this cleat did release in 2020, but again, it's on a 2-year cycle, so this is still one of the latest cleats from Nike. This is probably the most popular cleat in football across all levels. Tons of pros wear it, colleges use it, high schoolers, middle schoolers, all you little pee-wee kids. A lot of kids are wearing these football cleats. So there's a couple reasons why they're so popular and why so many people love these cleats, myself included. Let's get into it. So as you guys can see, these cleats look absolutely amazing. They're a beautiful looking silhouette, beautiful looking cleat all around. This is Nike by You colorway, but they do come in tons and tons of colorways. And lastly, they are packed with tons of Nike technology. So one of the main reasons the silhouette is so clean is this ghost lacing sheath is what I'm going to call it. I don't know, it looks really good, but also it serves a function. So I don't know if you guys have ever been playing in a game and somebody else's cleat gets caught on your laces and rips your laces. That happened to me in the first game of my senior year with some of my old Vapor Untouchable Pro 2s. But this sheath is going to protect against that. It's going to give you guys a little bit more protection and cover up those laces. As you guys may or may not know, under this ghost lacing sheath is just regular traditional laces, so it laces up just like any other football cleat. These cleats are very comfortable and they're kind of lightweight. They're 10.6 ounces, which is one of the heavier cleats on this list. But again, just like the Clone Blurs, they don't really feel that heavy when they're on your feet. They're pretty comfortable around. They've got a good amount of padding in the heel, not as much as the Clone Blurs, but enough. There's solid padding around your ankle, but it's not crazy supportive. If you guys saw Saquon Barkley's injury, he was in these and it's still rolled over. So obviously there's not enough support in these to prevent rollovers. But if you guys, none of these cleats on this list are probably going to prevent that. So if you guys need like that true ankle support, Get a big skill cleat, get an Alpha Menace Elite 2, get an Under Armour Highlight. What's Adidas? Oh, the Freak Ultra Prime Knit. Something like that if you guys are really concerned about your ankles. Also, like I talked about earlier on the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Speeds, it has the exact same traction plate. So this again is the Edge traction plate, two-piece construction, edge studs on the outermost parts of your foot. Makes it really easy to grip into the ground, cut, get out of breaks, get down the field, turn the corner, all that fun stuff very quickly. So you get all this, the looks, the performance for a price tag of $120, which is incredibly reasonable. 120 is about the average going rate, and this is Nike's mid-tier cleat. So I think 120 is a perfect price tag. I think it's a bargain, to be honest with you. Let us know in the comments. Same goes with all the cleats on this list. If you guys have any, comments or anything about the durability, let us know in the comments. Just, help the football community out, guys. In my opinion, for $120, this is a really good bang for your buck. They're great cleats. They look good and they perform really good. I think they're going to be really popular cleats again across all levels of football for a very long time. Coming in at number 1 on this list, what you guys have been all waiting for. Hopefully, I'm not showing you guys the cleats right now, but they are the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Elite football cleats. So you guys may have guessed these would be number 1, or maybe you didn't. It was number 1 on my list last year. Again, this cleat technically released in 2020, but it is on a 2-year cycle, so it's still the latest cleat from Nike, and these are my go-to cleats for anything, anytime, anywhere. I love these cleats so much. They're probably the best cleats that I've ever tested. Just my personal preference. I love these things. These are my perfect football cleat, and I'm sure you guys are wondering why, so let me tell you. First things first, these are some of the lightest cleats on the market. They weigh 9.5 ounces, which is the lightest cleat on this list so far. Part of the reason they're so light is because they are built from Nike's lightweight but really strong Flyknit, which it also kind of molds to your foot and makes these cleats really comfortable as well. There's plenty of padding in the heel. It pretty much has the same padding as the pros, but that Flyknit, it just feels so good on top of your foot. Another thing I love about these cleats is the pull tab. So if you guys don't know how this works or haven't watched the full review, basically instead of traditional lacing, they've been replaced with this pull tab basically to tighten it up. You just pull this, you get it nice and tight, you pull it where you need to, and then you can tuck this, in the side or wherever. But it makes putting on your cleats really easy, and it gives you a really secure fit. During the game, this thing doesn't like slip or anything. It stays exactly where you put it, so you don't have to worry about that. Really, really tight, secure fit, and it's really easy to do. Now again, talking about traction, again, the exact same traction plate as the Vapor Edge 360 Speed, which is at number 4, and the Vapor Edge 360 Pro, which is at number 2. The Edge plate, two-piece construction, edge studs, amazing for cutting and getting upfield. I love this traction plate. It's probably the best in the game, in my personal opinion. I can't get enough of it. You're gonna get amazing traction on both turf and grass fields. So as you guys can tell, and have probably been thinking throughout this portion of the video, wow, dude, those cleats look amazing. And the answer is yes. They're a really clean silhouette. This is the OBJ Primal Instincts pair. The white or the silver rather is actually reflective. Really cool pair. I don't know if these are still around or available. But there's a good amount of colorways of these. They have a couple cool ones out there on eBay, so we're gonna link that below if you guys want to cop a pair. But the big downside to these cleats is the same downside as the Clone Blur, and that's going to be the price tag. These things cost $200, which again is a lot to spend on a football cleat, but this is a very premium football cleat, and it is the best performing football cleat that I've tested in like the last 3 years. $200 is a lot for a lot of people. It's a lot to spend on a football cleat. It's a lot to spend on anything, to be honest with you. Overall, these things are comfortable. They look absolutely incredible, and they're some of the best performing cleats I've ever tested. So if you guys want to purchase any of the cleats we've talked about in this video, we do have eBay affiliate links you guys can use. So anytime you guys use those affiliate links, it helps us out, gives us a little kickback. So we appreciate you guys for that. So yeah, thank you. So there you guys have it. There are my personal top 5 skill cleats for the 2021 season. Hopefully this helps all of you QBs, running backs, wide receivers, DBs, maybe the linebackers and tight ends. If you guys want to pretend to be a skill guy, don't pretend like you don't do that. Just kidding. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, considering like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this. My name is Devin, also known as FBE, and thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Footballrs.